Hey there, it's Rob Ford here from Coromandel, Kayak and Fishing with our fortnightly fishing report. Things have been a little bit interesting again this week. You know, last weekend we had absolutely perfect weather and everybody made the most of it, which was great. And it was great to see so many people coming in our shop to see us. So thanks to everyone who came in and paid us a visit and supported us by purchasing. It's been a tough winter, so your sales were greatly welcome. But anyway, the weather was great and the fishing was going pretty good too, by all accounts, especially for some kayakers that we rented to. They did really well in the Coromandel Harbour, just on the farms on the inside of Coromandel Harbour there on the southern end at S Point sort of area. They did really well, came back all with big smiles on their faces, and that seems to be the pattern with quite a few kayakers. The boaties, on the other hand, there's been mixed sort of reports coming in from them. And, you know, basically part of the reason that they're not getting as many fish as they'd probably like is they're heading out wide and heading out deep. And I've been doing a bit of fishing myself out deep with jigs and in shallow. And to be honest, the deeper waters aren't that productive at the moment, especially when you start hitting the 35 to 40 metre mark. I've found, you know, there's the fish concentrations aren't that great out there. Move back into the shallows or towards the coast in about 20 metres and less, and you find those schools of snapper coming through and some good ones amongst it. But, you know, the shallows is where all the good fish are being caught right now. I've had some good reports from the east coast of Coromandel, the upper parts, down to sort of Matarangi area, with good fish from sort of in 10 to 15 metres and average sort of size 8 to 10 pound, which is awesome. So yeah, so it's a good option if you're looking for the snapper. Shallow water is pretty good. Also, the east coast has had quite a few kingfish turn up, which is cool, you know. So they're already starting to move into the coast. There's a lot of rats turning up in big packs, but also some good ones amongst them. So well worth getting that stick bait gear out and starting to target those kingies now. Especially because they're there. So basically for the coming week, as far as the fishing goes, we've got these westerlies. I mean, this week has been absolutely atrocious again. Heavy rain and really, really strong winds up to 40 knots. So, you know, it's pretty much wiped out anything on this west coast here as far as fishing goes, unless you're real keen. But the good news is this weekend we've got a bit of a calm patch coming, Saturday especially. And when I say calm, I mean winds under 20 knots, you know. So yeah, you know, get out there on Saturday and enjoy it if you're planning to go for a fish. Good options are down in the Firth. There's been quite a few workups down there, especially out off Manaia Harbour and places like that, but also out north of the mussel farms. There's been some huge workups out there, so that's a good option to look for those workups. And just a little tip when you're going to workups, don't rush straight through them, you know. Approach them quietly. If you're in a boat, kayak's always going to be quiet, and don't drive over the fish, you know. Park on the outside of them. Especially when they're moving in a direction, the best fishing is actually south of that workup, where the snapper and anything else tend to be shadowing those bait fish. But don't underestimate around those concentrations of bait fish too. The dory are quite likely to be in residence. So dropping jigs, softies, liveys, whatever down could reap the rewards. And also kingfish. You know, we had a customer last week who caught a 12 kilo kingy on a slow J green jig, 100 or 80 gram, and a Taikabura rod. So that would have been an awesome scrap. So yeah, they're around as well, the kingies. But going back to the plans, you know, east coast looking pretty good, with the constant southwesterly, westerly winds and even a bit of a northwester in there. The moon phase is better this week than it was last week, so the fishing is going to come on a bit more and they're going to be more keen to bite. So yeah, my pick would be east coast if you're coming up here and you plan the weekend away or during the week. There's a lot of ups and downs in the wind predictions. So, you know, there is the odd good day there where it's a bit calmer. So they're the days to really take advantage of it. And yeah, the east coast is a good option, especially if you're in a kayak and you're looking to stay out of that wind. That east coast will definitely pay dividends, and it sounds like the fishing won't disappoint either. Alright, so that's it for my fishing report this week. Lastly, just a local pick out of the shop. Behind me we have my new marine art design prints on t-shirts. They're double-sided prints, so you can see I've got one on, I've got a hoodie, but we've got singlets, we've got t-shirts, and we've got hoodies, and they've got this unique snapper skeleton with a silver fern as a backbone. Really, really cool. I'm wrapped with these, and on the back there are 3 designs, you know, so they come double-sided, and you've got kingfish, John Dory, and a snapper design as well to go with that. Check them out on the website, and that's it from me. Thanks again for tuning in, and please share this around with anybody else if they're coming to Coromandel, you know, and don't forget we're based on the main highway coming into Coromandel town, so pop in and see us for any other information you might need. Lastly, before I go, scallops fishery is absolutely knackered out. I'm on the hunt for new beds at the moment, but all the old traditional places, the scallops are really, really thin on the ground. So yeah, just, you know, don't count on coming down and finding a big feed of scallops. A lot of people have been disappointed with them. Anyway, that's it from me. Cheers, and we'll catch you in a couple of weeks.